Bel Air, and a home that has the potential to be the most expensive home ever sold in America, with a current asking price of $400 million.
In Bel Air has gone on the market for a record $400 million. That makes it the most expensive public residential listing in the entire world.
Today we are going to talk about the most expensive house that just hit the market in Bel Air for $400 million. The story starts back in 2010. A mysterious entity purchased this massive 7.8-acre promontory lot in Bel Air for $35 million. At first, property records appeared to connect the project to billionaire investor Thomas Barrack Jr., but later reports revealed something much bigger. The estate was allegedly being developed privately for Qatar's ruling Al Thani royal family, and according to investigations, Barrack reportedly acted as a frontman during the planning stages to keep the royal family's involvement hidden from the public. From the very beginning, this project was designed in complete secrecy. This was not a normal mansion build. The royal family reportedly ignored traditional Los Angeles architects and instead hired world-renowned designer Peter Marino. The vision? To create what many are now calling the crown jewel of Los Angeles. Construction reportedly took nearly a decade. The scale was so massive that crews had to combine multiple parcels of land while building enormous underground sections beneath the estate. And according to reports, the project was built with the philosophy that time and budget were not a factor. The final cost? More than $350 million. The property itself feels more like a private luxury resort than a home. The main residence alone spans around 50,000 square feet. It includes 10 family bedrooms, 13 staff bedrooms, a commercial-grade kitchen, and even an indoor swimming pool. But that's not all. There's also a second 30,000 square foot guest house, with 6 guest bedrooms and 10 additional staff bedrooms. In total, the estate contains an unbelievable 39 bedrooms and 59 bathrooms. And the amenities are absolutely insane. A full commercial spa, a private movie theater, a traditional hammam, a tennis court, a massive wine cellar, a subterranean garage, and outside, a custom mosaic, tiled resort pool guarded by a famous red balloon dog sculpture created by artist Jeff Koons. This property was designed to compete with royal palaces and 7-star resorts. The listing agents actually said that when Peter was hired, the family told him something that's kind of music to any builder or architect's ears. They said that time and budget were not a factor. Construction on the home began around 2014, and it took just about a decade to complete. The excavation and site preparation alone cost tens of millions of dollars. When all is said and done, the total investment of the property, when you combine the land purchase plus the construction cost, was north of $385 million. They finished construction way faster than I would have expected. It was finished in 2018, which means it only took 4 years to build, and like I said in the start of the video, as far as records show, since then, nobody has ever moved into the place. Now after all that yapping, it's time we finally look at the photos. And I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about this house. To be honest, it's not exactly my style, but let's check it out. Just to recap on the specs, the property has a total of 70,000 square feet of space out over multiple buildings, with the main house sitting in about 50,000 square feet. And the location is quite literally in the heart of Bel Air. For reference, is sitting about a mile southwest of the One Mansion, the only other mansion in the city that was ever asking anywhere close to this asking price. Now, even though more and more nowadays is to seem, we are seeing these homes with these 9-figure price points, it's still wild to see a $400 million price tag in a Zillow listing. A few things to point out: they were short and sweet, their listing description, which I can appreciate. This place has been listed for 6 days as of the filming of this video, and it already has 5,000 saves. I wonder how many of those 5,000 people can actually afford this house. The listing agent is Jack Harris. Man, he's in store for a big commission when this place finally sells. And one more fun fact for any of you guys who might be interested in buying this place: if you do, your property taxes are probably going to be like $1.5 million a year. One, if the things right off the bat that's really unique and special about this lot is that it is 8 acres and you get to use a lot of that acreage because most of the lot is actually flat, which is not typical for this area. Check this out. So, if we go to historical imagery on Google, this is the lot right here in the middle of the screen. This is what it looked like in 2003. By 2007, a lot of vegetation was scraped from the lot, and you can start to faintly see the driveway take shape here. In 2008, which remember was a few years before the Yanni bought this lot, there was a good amount of development happening here. By the way, this was not a good time to be a real estate developer, 2008. But anyways, fast forward to 2011, and by this point it looks like they had their pad prepped, and so they're ready to start going vertical sometime around this point by 2014. Things started to take a little bit of shape, which matches up with our timeline from earlier by 2016. Not a lot of progress was made, but once we got to 2018, all the structures seemed to have been built, and they were just working on landscaping at this point. Back to the Zillow listing. So here is the shot of the main house. If you flip your camera around though from your main house, you're looking out, and this is your view. This gives us a nice lay of the land. So off Shan you go through the security gates, up the long driveway you've got a huge motor court here, which takes you to the main house in the center of the screen. We've got the pool house and tennis court. And then over here in the top right, I guess, is the guest house. When I was saying that this house wasn't exactly my style, ratio was mainly referring to the furniture. I could definitely get into the architecture and the art and far sure the interior details, like this coffered ceiling alone. This had to have hundreds of hours to pull this off. In the kitchen, of course, we have a big island and a marble countertops. They did this countersunk detail with the doors and drawers on the cabinets, which is really nice. And of course, behind kitchen, there's a full-blown commercial kitchen as well. This kitchen looks bigger and more capable than most restaurant kitchens. This is another angle of the backyard with the pool house here on our left. This is another angle of the backyard with the pool house here on our left. I'm not sure how much this is going to pick up on the screen share, but just the amount of stone detail in this photo alone is unbelievable. Not just the medieval sculpture that we have in the center of the screen, but the flooring and the walls and these ceilings. If I had to guess, that hallway that we were just looking at takes you to this room, which is the ham room. In other words, is a Turkish bath, and in this room you're supposed to obviously clean yourself, socialize, relax. And right off that room is another room that I'm not sure what this room is. Okay, from this angle, I think it's just a big steam room. And then we've got a cold plunge and a jacuzzi here in front. Of course, this house comes with a full-blown hair and makeup salon. There's some more unbelievable woodworking here in the movie theater. One of our 59 bathrooms appeared to be completely wrapped in gold. And if gold's not your thing, that's okay, because we've got another room here around the corner that looks like it's completely wrapped in silver. Headed back outside for a minute and flipping through some photos. I mean, this is what an unlimited landscaping budget looks like between the gardens and all the mature landscaping. It looks like it's been here for 20 years. It honestly feels like we are in the hills of Tuscany, not in Southern California. It is really, really hard to imagine who's going to want to buy this place. I mean, it's way more expensive than that. Ken Griffin apartment that was sold in New York for $240 million. It's way more money than Jay Z and Bianca paid on their $200 million house Malibu. It is $100 million more than what Richard Sagian for the one down the street, although he did have to do a lot of work to that property, so maybe that is comparable. Whoever buys it, though, has to be okay with walking around a lot. I mean, they're going to end up getting 10,000 steps a day in before they even leave the house. The listing agent apparently don't know why the Anthony family is selling. When he was asked directly, the listing agent Jack Harris said, "I don't ask unnecessary questions. There is some speculation about whether the proposed California billionaire's tax played a role. One thing we do know for sure is that this is an expensive piece of real estate to own. I mean, at this asking price, you're going to have a minimum net worth of $10 billion for this home to be in your budget. There might be 300 or 400 billionaires in the world who can afford this house. But how many of those 300 or 400 people are going to look at this house and say, yes, I love this house. I love the floor plan. I love the finishes. I love everything about it so much do I have to have it. I mean, this house is listed at over $5,700 per square foot, which is about 4 times the going rate for real estate in the Bel Air area. If we looked closer at the price per square comps, the value actually should be closer to $100 million, maybe 125 million at the best. The reality, though, is that this property is owned by one of the wealthiest groups on the planet, so there is zero financial pressure for them to sell. They can hold on to it for as long as they want until they get their price, unlike a property like the one, for example, which was forced to sell due to bankruptcy auction. Regardless of the outcome here, I think we could all agree that 11201 Sharon Road is one of the most extraordinary pieces of real estate to hit the market in Los Angeles history. Whether it sells for $400 million, or $300 million, or $200 million, or whether it gets taken off the market altogether and it never sells. What I think is coolest about this house and this story is, it's just a great representation of what a truly unlimited budget can do. I'll see you guys next time.
Exposing the mega mansion in Beverly Hills. The one everyone thought was dead. It's very much alive. 10001 Angelo View Drive, bought by trailer park mogul Michael H. Scott in 2014, is under construction right now. The revised permit shows a 4-story structure, nearly 67,000 square feet of house, about 31,000 square feet of party decks. Plans were scaled down from a proposed gigamansion, but this is still enormous. Assessed near $39.7 million, worked on since 2018 by multiple contractors. Neighbors say Scott skipped a full environmental review. They warn of noise, they warn of traffic, they warn of years of disruption. 2 years